Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Sammy Lake here representing TeamJVS. Here you guys, another anime movie review, and I'm talking about Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze arc. Just for you guys get clarification, because there's been a lot of anime movies that's come out recently. If you've seen Don Da Don, you know, the Third Eye, or the Evil Eye, I apologize. That one is basically the first 3 episodes of the 2nd season, if you didn't know that. This one is not that. If you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen or Jujutsu Kaisen 0 specifically, which is kind of a prequel, it's its own standalone, but it's very much so canon, and it furthers the story along progressively from the 2nd season and the 3rd season. This one, coming off of the 1st season, we know how the 1st season ended. I'm not going to divulge that here. If you haven't seen the 1st season, go and check it out. It's good. It's crazy. It's insane. But just know you need to watch the 1st season no matter what. But coming off the 1st season, whatever you see transpires in this movie, it is not going to be in the 2nd season. That's going to be its own separate thing. I just want to clear that up right front so you guys kind of know. But let's go ahead and break down what this movie is actually about. So you got Denji now. He is working, of course, with the organization that are trying to stop a specific devil that is basically trying to lay to waste anything in its vicinity. Now, Denji, we know the 1st season that he has a new heart, and it is his love for this devil, this literally a chainsaw devil that he ended up connecting with. I'm not going to divulge that or how that happened, but ultimately he is the chainsaw devil, essentially. And his job is to work with characters like Power and Aki to go and try to stop them. So he's working on the side. A lot happened to him. But one thing that is an absolute, he is in love, head over heels with the person named Makima. Makima is pretty much the leader of this whole entire organization in a lot of different ways. But for whatever reason, she is turned to liking to him. And, you know, it starts off like him trying to pursue her yet again. This time, he finds someone that is equally as interesting, cute, and someone he actually thinks possibly likes him back in Reze. And that is the crux of this. But there's so much going on in this. I haven't even tipped the iceberg. First off, visually, this is insanity. Visually, this is something that you need to see in IMAX. If you can see it in IMAX or IMAX 4DX, or if you can see it in the biggest IMAX screen you can, do it. Because this is the movie for that. The framing, the way they handle the action beats, the music, the sound design, when the music and the sound design is going, you feel it, like, for real. Like, great mastering of the sound design. But the visual aesthetics of it, whenever you have, like, you know, like a character like Denji transform or another person transforming, like there's another character in this called the Angel Devil. When they're actually utilized and where you're seeing them, a lot of times it's very high measures, sometimes it's very subtle shots. It looks amazing. So they spare no expense as far as the visual immersion in this one. So you want to see this on the biggest screen you can, at the very least, like something that sounds amazing as well. But as far as the storyline is concerned, they absolutely do further every single character. More so than not, I would say Denji's character and Makima's character. Power, not so much in this as much as I would have thought. Even though she's very much so in it. Aki and newcomers, like I said, the Angel Devil, make a very interesting footprint on where things to come. And I think that specifically with the character like Aki, it makes for some very interesting situations that I didn't anticipate. But Denji as a character, as much as you love him, you know what his humble beginnings are. He's had a rough life. He never has it easy. And he's always second guessing, like, what is the norm? And so him putting into this interesting situation with this newcomer in Reze, that, you know, he kind of just is like, oh, wow, this person might actually like me. Like, how he has to deal with it and the social anxieties of it and the awkward situations. And also there's some, this is kind of lewd. Like, not only is this very graphic and very violent, it's very rated R, but there's also some sensual, sexual undertones and actually blatant, like, nudity at times as well. So just be forewarned about that. But if you knew that coming into it, you're fine. But in terms of how they handle pacing, as far as how they handle, like, a lot of the intrigue of where the story was going to actually progress to. Some of the stuff I didn't anticipate. And also make sure you watch all the way to the very end as well, because there's definitely some things that are left after everything is done and said and done. But as far as how they handle the second to third act transition is actually really interesting. It is very tonally dark, but at the same exact time, very important to who Denji needs to become, who he has to be, why he is who he is. And I think that that's even more intriguing as much as the action is. Like, the action is there. Like, you're going to get all the thrills. You're going to get all the deaths. You're going to get all the, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening moments. But I think if the character wasn't likable and you didn't hang on with the hope that, like, he's still going to maintain his humanity throughout all this, then it wouldn't be anything to kind of grasp for other than just the coolness factor. So I think that this was really freaking good. And this is one that I don't think you should miss. And I also think that it would be good to watch it subbed and dubbed. If you get a chance to watch it subbed, you're fine. Voice acting cast is amazing. But if you get a chance to watch it dubbed, I think that sometimes when you're watching subbed versus dubbed, you miss out on some of the action beats, and I think it would actually be serviceable specifically with something like this. On an IMAX screen, you're not going to want to miss any of the things. I didn't miss anything even watching it subbed, but I think it would just be even more interesting hearing it dubbed and going and watching through the gambit. But if I'd had to give it a rating, given the fact that it's amazing visuals, insane raw action, I don't really have any real negatives because it still furthers the story. And even when there are moments that were kind of like, oh, this is cheesy. Like, there's literally a shark devil in this. But yet, even with that character, they do some very interesting and engaging things. So I would rest this at a 9 out of 10. This is actually really freaking good. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. It's really hard. If you guys want me to go and do like a spoiler discussion, I'm more than willing to do that with some other people as well. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. And a lot more is coming, okay? I promise. Peace, guys.